Hello, hello. What's going on, guys? How we doing tonight? Let's see. Let's switch this up right here. How we doing? Absolutely beautiful day for AMC today. 12.3% during the day, then up or down 2 cents in the after hours. After a big green day like this, we would expect to see a little bit of a pullback in the after hours if this was a little bull trap, fake out, whatever you want to call it. Not down very much. I mean, I'm guessing they're going to attack us in the morning a little bit, but who really cares what they have to say? Let's see. How are we doing, everybody? What setting should I set my Weeble to ensure they don't get shared or lent? Turtle, good question. We do have a couple of ways to do that. Uh, that's a good question. Let's see. How's everybody doing? Oh, what's up, Sean? Turtle, you can Google that. Yeah, Turtle. I don't remember off the top of my head how to do it, but it's like 4 clicks of a button, and then you're good to go. So we got a lot of stuff to go over tonight. We have Goldman Sachs doing some really weird stuff, like for no reason. So, oh, we got some ducks in here. What's up, ducks? Let's expose those greedy hedgies. Vote for Timothy B's question. Do it like yesterday. Shout out to Timothy B. Quickly, let's do a quick Vortex update to see where we're at. This ever loads. All right, here we go. Little preliminary Vortex update before we know it's going to change in the after hours. So we got utilization at 91.89. That has not changed since I recorded my video earlier today. Short interest, 15.47%. Percentage of the free float on loan, 19.62. 100 million shares on loan, slowly creeping up. So utilization is really important. I know a lot of you guys are maybe not on the same page with the utilization that I am, but it's basically just the amount of shares that institutions are willing to lend versus the amount of shares that have already been lent out. When more shares have been lent out, there's that scarcity aspect involved for the people basically following the rules, and the prime brokers can pull back those shares at any point because, one, it's risky for them to have all of those shares loaned out, and two, the cost to borrow goes up so they can take the shares back, loan them out again at a higher rate. Just voted for Timothy B's question. Somebody says Timothy B is TMI. Oh, that would be interesting. Okay, let's do a little refresh on this save vote. So the main thing that people have been bringing up over the last couple of days, this right here, Timothy B asks, do you have any plans to offer a dividend again? Well, that's kind of it's just kind of a loose question because right now AMC can't really offer a dividend. But the question's really important. This is the question that people are doing all of those calculations on. So right now we have 51.7 million shares that have voted on this and 43,100 votes. So what this means is that over 1% of all of the AMC shareholders have voted on this. If this number can continuously increase through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we could get this number, I don't know, hopefully to... I would love to get it to 100,000. I don't know if I highly doubt that we can get this number up to 100,000, but that would be really awesome. So as these numbers go up, the statistical significance also goes up because it's a larger sample size. So any sort of like error, like a margin of error or like an outlier that's incorporated into this data, like say there's like a subset of individuals that have a wild amount of shares. It's just like 10,000 people are just whales. That would affect the data. But as the number gets higher, those whales have less of an effect on the overall average. So let's see who's in here. Oh, what's up, Avatar? How you doing, man? Let's see. Shout out to the mods pushing. What's up, buddy? Oh, we got the shills in here already. Always love to mess with some shills. It's very fun. What's up, Sarah? Good evening. All right. So how's everybody feeling after today? Everybody all right? You guys doing all right? Let's see. Yesterday, honestly, the morale was strong in the night stream. The morale was very high. Even though we had that big red day, people were like, yeah, whatever. So what I'm thinking is that one, you gotta be, we're going to see big downs and we're going to see big days where we go up. Now, what you got to think about is the main thing that I'm personally in this for is shorts covering. Like, I'm always going to own AMC shares just for like sentimental value, but at the same time, it's like, have the shorts covered? No. Then we're down. It's like, okay, cool. We could rip up to $300 a share, and if the shorts haven't covered, it's like, okay, well, we're in the same place that we were at like $5. Great day. Vic's trying to make. You're trying to make extra money for AMC. What do you think about an Amazon put? Peter, those are going to be pretty expensive. I haven't looked at Amazon in a while. Vix, how tall are you? I'm 6'2". Nice fresh cut. Thank you, guys. Got it this morning. Thanks for streaming, SCV. What has been the most bullish news in your opinion today for AMC? I would say utilization. I think also, like, when we talk about this save-out, let's see. Last night on the stream, we saw 1.5 million shares come in. We're at 51.7 right now, so somebody keep track of it by the time we're done at like 10. So we'll see what happens, but let's see. What's going on? Slate, it's not actually my birthday. That's the joke. I showed you guys last night the day candle where my birthday was, and you guys definitely want my birthday to be every single day. What price point could they even cover at? Well, so here's the thing. What they're really trying to do right now is like it's like a launch pad. It's like, where is the launch pad going to start? So like they could have covered way back here, $8. They could have even covered at $2. But now it's gotten so out of hand with everything. What were you saying about Goldman Sachs? Oh, Dan, we'll get into that. Don't worry. So they could have covered at all these different prices, but they haven't. So what I'm thinking is that they're trying to find a way at this point to cover all of these shorts. Now, the numbers right now that we're seeing for how many synthetics and how many shares could actually be circulating around, I've seen 5 billion. And even when people do like the most conservative numbers, it's still way higher than the amount of shares than that actually should be out there, even including all of the shares on loan. Because those are like recirculated shares, if that makes sense. Like if I have a brokerage account, my shares get like the brokerage will like take them, loan them out to a hedge fund, sell them to somebody else. So I still own them, but then somebody else owns them as well. So it's like double dipping on the shares. And then those shares can get loaned out again. So the shares on loan is a good representation, but multiple people can own the same set of shares. It is not my birthday. Gotta switch to listening, finally leaving work. Been there since TMI's pre-market stream. Tricks. Whew. That is a day and a half. Can't vote from Scotland. That's all right. Yeah, I think we're going to get... Oh, I got to send the link out to everybody. I haven't done that yet. Give me 1 second. Send it to the team. Boom. Oh, I'm gonna send it to the potential special guests too. You guys are gonna freak out if this individual comes on. Shooting them the link just in case. Was this just a pump today? No. Okay, so let's take a look at what happened today. So right now, let's do this right here. Big down yesterday, big up today. Now we saw this significant pre-market dip down to 28.57. I know a lot of people were worried about this. It's very possible that we could still go down to these lower levels. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter to me at all. Because one, shorts haven't covered. Who cares? If the price is going to go down, we just know they're shorting it more. They're just making it worse for themselves, which eventually, if like the squeeze ends up playing out as big as we think it is, then that benefits us. So right here, we saw a big rip into the market open, sell off back down to this $28 range, and then we ripped. little cup and handle right here, and then back up. We're seeing a little cup and handle as well right here. So we could see this continue up into tomorrow, but options, here we go. This has been something we've been talking about all week long, this $30 strike. So the reason why we've been talking about this $30 strike is because when you sell puts, you have a positive delta. So in order to delta hedge, you have to enter into a position with a negative delta, if that makes sense. So when you sell these options right here, your delta then becomes positive. So you either have to buy offsetting puts at a higher strike, probably at a higher strike, or you need to short the underlying stock. Now, the puts would be, oh my, Aria, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys have been going wild with the super chats recently. You guys don't have to do that, and thank you so much for all of you guys that do that, like the videos, and even just come in here and hang out. You guys are awesome. So Aria, hi STV, thank you for the DD, and thank you for what you do. Keep it up. I'm holding AMC strong, and I hold for you. I hold for you too. Just want to be here for support. Be here to support the community. Apes together strong. Aria, thank you. Auto Spa, thank you for the super chat. So Vix, are we going to avoid the question? Auto Spa, I don't know I honestly don't know what question you're talking about. Yeah, it honestly, with the numbers right now, I saw somebody say billions of synthetics. Very possible that it is billions. So back to options. So going back to this positive negative delta situation. So in order to like delta hedge these, thank you guys so much for the super chats, by the way. So in order to hedge these, they would have to go out and short the underlying stock. So yesterday, the open interest on this was 20,000. So that's potentially 2 million shares that they need to short if that's how they're going to hedge those. So when the stock ends up coming back above 30, they no longer need that hedge on. They don't need it because they're like, well, the stock is above the price that we need to hedge them for. Why do we have this on? And this is algorithms doing this. Because if you were to sit here and watch these numbers change throughout the day, you'd be like, there's no way that I could ever like short buy. Like it wouldn't happen. It has to be like some sort of computer running these trades. So when it gets to a certain point, they then what is called unhedge them. And if it's a short position, that means they buy it. They buy it back. So if there were all of those shorts that were used for hedging on all of these strikes right here, that's a decent amount of shares. So that definitely contributed to the reason why we went up today. And we saw these calls come back in the money. So then that's double buying volume that we saw. So that's just one aspect of why we started to go up today. Doxing Debo, thank you so much for the super chat. Anyone having a problem with the upvote? I linked my account, but my shares don't show up. I did verify, but Center Circle shows 0 shares, but I hold 1,500. Debo, best thing to do is most likely email them or your broker and be like, hey, what's going on here? I don't know what brokerage you're on. But yeah, just send them an email. I've heard they've been pretty good at getting back to people. Oh yeah, Autospot, that's cap. What do you think? Come on now. Oh, disable 2-factor authentication, then sync, re-enable. Gotcha. Thank you, Pushin. So how excited should we possibly be for Monday? No way the numbers don't reflect strength in the company. Turtle, don't get excited. I'm just excited for all of the action that's going to happen, if that makes sense. We're going to see this is just what I'm thinking. The shorts are going to come out and attack because their whole thesis revolves around the fundamentals of AMC as a company. So if they're going to start attacking, then there's an event that revolves solely around the fundamentals of the business. So that plays into their short thesis. They're going to take anything that they can from the earnings to try to push it down. Now, if they beat expectations by a decent amount, we could still like a medium size amount, a little beat, we could still see the stock trend down. Fine, whatever. But if we have a big beat, institutions start to pile in because they know that now the company is getting into a really good place fundamentally, and there's that short squeeze aspect to it. Cannot use public on Say either. I don't think Say goes through Apex or public goes through Apex either. So I'm not sure what would happen there. I used TD, had no issues uploading share count. Paul, STV just transferred the rest of my shares out of Robinhood this evening. I kept pushing it off because MOAS is near. Hopefully they transfer quickly. Hannah, awesome job. Yeah, if you think that you don't want to be on Robinhood anymore, that is your own choice. Let's see. If we are not selling, why do they keep attacking and shorting? So honestly, there are people selling. That's just like you gotta put that out there. There are people selling AMC. It just happens. Like it's something that is going to happen because when the stock goes from 12 to 72, there's buyers along the way, and those new buyers may not know exactly the potential of what's going on. So those people who are less educated about this situation are going to see their investment tank, and typical retail investors, when they see their investment go down, they want to take their loss. They don't have that buy the dip, especially if they put a lot of money into it. What's up, Apocalypse? Yeah, I got to start incorporating some of your some of those intros and stuff into my streams and videos. I got to figure out how to do that. I know it'd be easy for the videos. I just got to figure out how to do it for the stream. But when they sell, retail is buying. Yeah, maybe not enough. All day says MOAS between September 17th and February 2022. That is your own projection, man. We don't know. Ernie, thank you so much for that super chat, man. I think my numbers make sense. We own at least 1 billion shares, and you should have went to my cousin for a cut. Dude, I know, but you guys are in, I think, North Carolina. That's far. Let's see. All right. So we can start getting into some market stuff because this is getting interesting. So just drop like a thumbs up in the chat if you remember us talking about Goldman Sachs and their Q2 earnings selling 25% of all of their equity positions. Just drop a thumbs up somewhere, and I'll see it. Let's see. I know there's a little delay on here, so let's see. The only thing that can stop this movement is us retail buyers. If we can all hold and not sell / day trade, this thing would have been over way long ago. Yeah, there's a couple of theories about what. Can we remind everyone to vote for Timothy B's question? Yeah, absolutely. Ernie says, my cousin is in Stores, Connecticut. Thank you for another super chat, man. That's where I go to school. So I thought he was in I thought Willimantic was where they were at. All right, thumbs up. Okay, lots of thumbs up. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so everybody kind of remembers at this point the Goldman Sachs selling. Now, what does that suggest to you? Like if you sold 25% of your entire portfolio, what is your mindset about what is going to happen to the market? That's the next question. The two options are market goes up, market goes down. So let's rephrase the question. If you sell 25% of your portfolio, what do you think is going to happen to the market over the next 6 months? Up, down. Let's see what happens with this one. All right. Let's see when these start to come in. He owns Fade Mason's stores, CT Mason. Oh, Ernie. I got to write that down because I need a new haircut place in stores. Okay, William says crash time. All right. That's one. That's okay. So rephrase the question right here. If you sell 25% of your portfolio, what do you think is going to happen to the market? Up, down. Okay, down, doom candles. All right, there we go. So we've got 3 responses. Tank, down. More down. Okay. So we're seeing a lot of people following the logic here that the market would go down. Like they would expect the market to go down if they're selling 25% of their equity position. Let's see. I think this is the article right here. All right. This is absolutely I'll tell you what they're doing, and it's just messed up. Here we go. Goldman analyst David Costin sees S&P 500 at 4,700 by year end, 4,900 by the end of 2022. Combination of higher than expected S&P earnings and lower than expected interest rates drive our upgraded price targets. Okay. So now they think the market's going to go up. So let me get this straight. Goldman Sachs says, hey, we've sold 25% of all of our positions. The logic follows. They think it's going to go down. Then now their analyst is coming out and saying, yeah, I think we think the S&P in the broad market is going to go to 4,700, which I think is about 7% up from where we are right now. Here's what they're doing. So typically in times of like big market corrections, retail is always the bag holder, always. Because they're still buying, they're buying into the hype. The market goes, and then all of a sudden it tanks. This is, we can see it right here. Oh, that's not the chart we want. Whoops. I always clicked the wrong one. See, up, tank, really up. What's going to happen now? Are we going to continue on this massive trend right here? So here's what retail or here's what Goldman and all of the big institutions are doing. We know from all of their different reports, and we're going to go into this a little bit deeper to just see how bad this is for them and how it affects us as shareholders. So we know that Goldman sold. That's like the smoking gun right there. They're out. Everybody's over leveraged. They're starting to deleverage. Cool. Awesome. But what they do is right now, everything is starting to go up. So if they can flood the news media, which I hate to say this, but a lot of people still listen to, they're gonna be able to convince people that the market is fine. Listen to the Fed, everything's good. There's no problem right now. And this is why they do that. Retail is a big like bid supplier. Now, institutions all have the big money. So if a market correction starts to happen and the institutions are behind on it, they need to be able to liquidate positions in order to not take huge losses. So who are they going to want to sell to? Well, other institutions, smart money, supposedly, is going to have the same idea. So you can't sell to other institutions. You would have to sell to retail. But remember, just like we said earlier, retail is not really in the business of buying the dip. They get scared, they take their money out, no longer supplying the bid. So what they're doing now is convincing people the market is running up in order for them to keep dumping positions onto retail investors. Does that make sense to everybody? Let's see. Alex says, hey man, I just recently got into trading after learning about AMC. I was curious if you had any thoughts on the rumors suggesting, oh God, Alex. Yeah. So like everything's kind of starting to play out, if that makes sense. So we've been talking about like this major market event happening for months. Now it hasn't happened yet. I can't say I'm right, but like it doesn't really matter. Like if I'm right or I'm wrong, as long as we can position ourselves accordingly, doesn't matter. Yeah. So that's what they're mainly doing right now. And here's where it gets even more interesting. This article that I brought up in today's video, I do have another one to bring up as well. So right here, this is all of the derivative exposure. This is in millions. JP Morgan Chase, $52 trillion. Goldman Sachs, $50 trillion. Citibank, $46 trillion. Bank of America, $18 trillion. Goldman and Citi are the two people who have come out and said, yeah, market correction. So we have two of the individuals who in the top 4 commercial banks, savings associations, and trust companies and derivatives, all of the top 4 account for about 168 trillion in derivatives. The rest of them, about 20 trillion. So they're heavily concentrated in these 4 names. Now, let me pull up this one thing really quick and why derivatives are really important. Hold on. Here we go. So Warren Buffett has said this a lot of times in the past that he hates derivatives. So derivative time bomb is a descriptive term for possible market mayhem if there is a sudden opposed to an orderly unwinding of massive derivatives positions. Okay, well, we're gonna look at the previous like derivative exposure as well. We can get into that. I pulled them up earlier today. It would have just been too long to put in the video. So we'll look at that as well. It's basically on par to where we were at in 2008, but you got to account for inflation. So it probably needs to go a little bit higher in order for it to pose a massive issue. So the time bomb aspect of it as a reference to derivatives is a moniker attributable to Warren Buffett. In 2016, in the annual Berkshire Hathaway Company meeting, the legendary investor warned that the state of the derivatives market is still a potential time bomb in the system if you were to get a discontinuity or severe market stress. So that has to do with unwinding of derivative positions. Well, we know they're over leveraged already. And in order to trade a lot of these derivatives, you need margin. You don't need, okay, so you don't need margin like for options most of the time, but for some of these swaps or for futures, they do lever up and they're very risky positions. So the fact that we are seeing them have these wild exposures to derivatives, it just shows us how how crazy this situation is going to get. So 168 trillion is what we are at for the most recent quarter. Ernie Rivera, thank you so much for another super chat, man. $336 million of AMC was borrowed from IWMB yesterday against AMC. Interesting. Everybody's saying happy birthday again. Again, not my birthday, guys, but thank you. Also, if you guys don't mind, just dropping a like on the video. It just helps get more people in here, helps out with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you all to all the people who have done that already and who are going to do it. You guys are really helpful. So here's the next one. So this is the report from Q1 2020. Q1 2021, Q4 2020, it was 163 trillion. Q3 2020, 178 trillion. So it came down a little bit. Now it's coming back up. In Q2 of 2020, 179 trillion. So it came down and it is now curving back up. So we're seeing an uptrend in derivative exposure. They won't all do it at once. Travis, you are actually correct in that if those new NSCC proposed rule changes come into effect. So the new proposed rule changes is basically like controlling the downtrend of the market. Again, with that rule coming in, Goldman Sachs selling, Credit Suisse moving into gold, Morgan Stanley saying they're expecting a 20% correction, Citigroup saying a 10% correction. The markers are there. I thought this was a Wendy's. I mean, oh, Trey's Cat Titan in here. There we go. I love you, Titan. Hey, everyone just got here. Not sure what's going on, but happy birthday, Vix, guys. All right, I'll show you my birthday candle again. Here we go. 3 months. Want to see my birthday candle? That's my birthday candle right there. Big boom boom candle right there. T plus 35's FTDs next week will be lit on top of positive earnings. Okay, we can talk about FTDs. Let me see if I can pull up the chart real quick for you guys. I actually don't know where I would get that from. Yeah, so I'm not sure where we would get the so I don't have the chart on me, but I know it's 2 million coming into tomorrow and then an additional 2 million-ish on Monday. So what happens when the T plus 35 failure to deliver dates happen is they're supposed to get closed out. Now, what that means is that these brokerages or the prime brokers did not have the shares. This is like one of the main scenarios. The prime brokers did not have the shares in order to loan out the stock. So typically it's T plus 3, but there's a special loophole where they can close out FTDs within 35 days. Now, if those pile up, we're going to see those big 2 million, 4 million days. So what they do is that they then have to go out and buy the shares of stock in order to cover those failure to delivers. So what could have happened is that they've basically seen that they could push down the stock ahead of earnings. Let's go back over here. They could push down the stock, but the stock ran up today. So it's possible they started taking off some of those FTDs today because they know that everybody is looking at the failure to deliver numbers. So if the stock runs up today, everybody's still excited about tomorrow and Monday. Nothing happens. A lot of disappointment. Retail sentiment goes down. So it's very possible that this move today was also had to do with them closing out some of these fails. So I just want to put that out there to you guys that tomorrow could have been the fails from today. Or today could have been the fails from tomorrow. Who knows what they're doing or when. FTDs are on Vortex. You're right. Let's see. Today was a great day. Everyone, good job for holding and believing in the cause. Proud of all of you beautiful apes. Trey's Cat Titan, I'm proud of you too. No, as I stated earlier, till the SEC rules pass, short squeeze won't happen to protect the market from a total crash. Okay, John, here's the other thing about that. One, we went over this last night that the SEC, or not the SEC, the DTCC, NSCC, FINRA, all of those rules are only as good as the people enforcing them. And we went over that speeding ticket example. Because if everybody has sped before, and you know where the cops are, and you know how much the speeding ticket is most likely going to be, but you also know that the police are not always going to pull you over. Like, it's just too much effort for them to do it. So if these rules are set into place and they're getting enforced like speeding tickets, then it won't really do anything. The big rules are NSCC 002, DTCC 005. These are the ones, in my opinion, that are big. And then NSCC 803 and 010. Those are the big boys. You and TMI both followed me on Insta, and now I feel like such a big shot. Guys, my Instagram is weak right now. Let's see. What price do you think we can expect tomorrow and Monday? Junior, I mean, that's here's the thing. If I knew what price that to expect, I would just YOLO my entire net worth into calls for tomorrow. I don't. Nobody does. Did anybody expect this run up yesterday to 35 and then come all the way down to 28? No. I don't think anybody thought that. And then did anybody expect that we were going to dip continuously in the pre-market, rip up? Like these price moves are like kind of unpredictable. But again, at the end of the day, technical analysis is a very good tool to have. I always defer to TMI because that's how he trades. Like, technicals are not a big part of how I trade. I know like a decent amount, but it's not my teaching point. So what would be the ideal position for that type of scenario? Liquidate to be ready for the fire sale. There's a couple of things. Everybody was freaking out about the debt ceiling, but that's going to take time to play out. So the fact that they didn't increase the debt ceiling, meaning that the United States government can't issue more bonds in order to pay off their existing debt, that is going to take a little bit of time to play out. There needs to be a time period where the debt payments come due and they can't pay them. Now, like, everybody was kind of freaking out and being like, oh, default. They're not going to default, in my opinion. Highly doubt it. They could, if I'm wrong, whatever. Like, if you guys have puts when that happens, really good for you. So, but the key word that you need to look out for is downgrade. If the United States gets their credit rating downgraded, that's going to cause the market as a whole to freak out. Here's the other thing, though. If we see a crash, I've tried to explain this a little bit in the past. It is entirely possible that AMC goes with it, shorts add, and they push it down to really low levels. I think that's very possible. Here's the thing, though. A lot of these institutions are on computers, and they're going to have to cover the shorts eventually. So if they push the price down to a really low level and keep adding to their short position, Then eventually when they're like, "Yep, cover the short, take whatever we have on the table, we mitigated our loss," then it's more shorts pushing the stock down, more short interest, and more shorts having to cover. So the algos turn to buy, boom, boom. But we don't necessarily know when that's going to happen or how high the squeeze could potentially go. When we're looking at these say numbers, so we have 51.7 right now. Let's see if we can get it to 51.9. Come on now. Oh, 52 million. We've got some whales in here that were voting, huh? Whew. There was somebody in here last night that I think in their household, they had something like 200,000 AMC shares. I was like, you guys are crazy. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, definitely go check out this vote. And if you're gonna vote, vote on Timothy B's question because this is what people are using in order to do those statistical calculations of how many shares could potentially be out there for AMC. I've never heard of retirement funds buying stocks before. They're doing that because a possible market crash is coming. Maybe. Totally not the FBI. What's up, man? How you doing? Bank of America bankruptcy by the end of the year. Okay, so that also plays into what we went over with derivatives earlier. So let's pull this back up again. Bank of America, where is it? I don't have it up, but Bank of America, I think it's $128 billion worth of securities that they've essentially done like a shelf registration for, where in a shelf registration, imagine if like this hedgy tiers is the entire amount of like securities that I want to offer over the next 2 years. But let's say over the next 6 months, I only want to offer up. I don't have a water bottle, but imagine a water bottle, but I only want to offer what's in the water bottle. But in order for them to not have to go through the hassle of like registering with the SEC, and they're a well-known seasoned issuer, they can do what's called a shelf registration. So they take the whole gallon, they put it up on the shelf in little bitty water bottles and say, hey, we're registering all of these securities for right now, and we can take them off from time to time and offer them, but we've already registered them with you, so we're cool. So that's what Bank of America's done. 123 billion. Okay, cool. Whatever. So now they're also wildly exposed to, where is it? This one? They have $18 trillion of derivatives right now. Exposure. So like their assets or like their derivative position controls $18 trillion worth of assets. That's a lot. So what they could be doing is raising that money in order to pay down some of their margin. But the fact that Bank of America has already broken a record for bond sales and totally not the FBI. I'll take a look at that. And now they're doing it again with 123, I think it is, billion. That's nuts. Okay, so totally not the FBI says January 2022. Yeah, I was looking for this today. I saw somebody say it, but I didn't know which date they were talking about. What's the strike? Oh my God. All right. Well, somebody thinks Bank of America is going way down because look at this, 47,000 open interest on the 20. That's a 50% drop right here. 66,000 at the 23, almost 100,000. Let's check the other banks too for this strike or for this date. STV, can we please get a save vote link? Absolutely, you can. Here is the link. Hold up. I'm typing it in. Oops, that was stupid. There it is. So for Bank of America, they're really betting heavy on the put side. They're really thinking it's going to go down. But let's check out JP Morgan with some more derivative exposure. Options. 2022 puts. Not as many as Bank of America, but still a lot. This is something that we're going to keep a lookout for over the next couple of weeks and months, because if people are betting heavy against banks, that's not good. Like you don't want, like if the market's fine, You wouldn't see people taking these heavy bets on banks. What's the date of the puts? January 2022. What date? Yeah, January 2022 was that date, guys. Yeah, JP Morgan, they're also betting against them. I mean, let's see. I don't think Citi's public. I know Goldman is. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at here. Check SoFi puts. Now we're just now it's like a dance monkey dance situation where you want me to take a look at just random puts. I don't really look at. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm solely focused on AMC and GameStop, and then I'm looking at like I'm looking for the straw that's going to break the camel's back in terms of the market event setting off. My opinion, it's very possible that if we are going to see it, it would be towards the end of this year. What was the strike? I'll pull them back up, but it was a variety of strikes. The open interest was spread out on a lot of these different strikes. So the heavy ones are 20 through 25. So 20, 23, and 25, 30 and 28, 32, 35, and those are really the big ones. Those are the big boys. Shorting is going to start getting much harder the closer it gets to 100%, 9% away currently. Matt, are you talking about utilization? Hit that like for the VIX. Thank you, Al Capone. Yeah, if you guys don't mind hitting that like button, it just helps out. Check Wells Fargo. Yeah, we can check Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is the one that they're the most shady, and they do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wells Fargo's got it good. Bank of America's got it the worst, though. What about retirement funds buying AMC? John, they do that. Like wealth funds, state funds, they buy equities. STB, hearing a lot about banks liquidating. What's the significance of this? You've probably heard that from me. The significance of this is that we know that all of these institutions are wildly over leveraged. That's the key word here, over leveraging. Now, we know that people are over leveraged on AMC, or we have a very, very strong assumption that they're over leveraged on AMC. Now, with some decent amount of statistical evidence, you guys just put in another 100,000 shares. What was our number to start at? 51.7. So let's see if we can break the record from last night. I think it was 1.5 million shares voted on, and we've already got 4 million shares. 400,000 shares that have been voted on this question. So if you guys can get this up to 53.5 million by the end of this stream, which ends in about 2 hours, then we should do something cool. Because that would be awesome. Like the fact that we're seeing over 1% of people have already voted, that's awesome. It's great. It makes these numbers more statistically significant. But right now, if we look at the chart on AMC, 3 month, we've done these little sell-off bounce. So let's see what happens over the next couple of days. We do have a decent catalyst. Do you think this will be a managed event or a pure rip? They're not going to be able to manage the squeeze. They can manage the market correction, because here's the thing. In order to manage the squeeze, you would have to create an agreement with all 4.1 million individual shareholders and convince them to agree to sell at a certain price. So I am not going to agree to the same price as Hayden or the same price as Duck Suspenders to sell my shares. So like, it's just not going to happen. Like the whole thing about the Volkswagen, Porsche German government thing is that there were like not many big shareholders. There were like 2, 3, Volkswagen, Porsche, German government. And they knew that they owned a controlling interest, and they knew the short interest. They're like, yeah, we're not going to sell until this price. They figured that out and they let it go. That's kind of essentially what happened with the Volkswagen situation. So It's different than what happened with AMC. And the whole thing that really set off the Volkswagen short squeeze was when Porsche disclosed its ownership. That's very, very, very similar to what's going on right now with AMC in this Timothy B vote. Let's see. Did we get another 100,000 shares? Come on now. Almost. We're getting there. We're getting there. What's up, Melissa? Yeah, 10% of the float with 1% of retail investors. So you guys know what that means, right? If you just do that very simple math that probably is not statistically correct, that would mean 5 billion plus shares out there. Can you explain covering positions with synthetic shares? How does that work? Okay, so if you have a short position on a stock, it's very possible that the funds do not even know that they're shorting the synthetics too. It's a prime broker issue, really. That's kind of what it is. And then they just cycle it around to other brokerages. Resets, comes back. That's essentially what they're doing. So let's think about it this way. When a hedge fund go new data, Sean, new data on what, buddy? Let's see. So where was I? Yeah, prime brokers. So when you're looking at what's going on with, like, okay, so I'm a hedge fund. I want to short. I go to my broker and they're like, okay, yeah, you can short this amount. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take the loan, whatever. It's up to the prime broker to figure out if they have the shares or not. So they could just be loaning stuff out that they're like, oh yeah, we can get it eventually. We're good. But then they don't. And then they have that T+3 situation. Then there's the T+35 with FTDs, but they can also just transfer the debt, like Kringle said, to a different broker. So yeah, the hedge funds are manipulating the stock with the shares that they have, but they're basically being enabled by the brokers. Let's see. But when people start seeing large dollar amounts in their account, it'll be hard just to hit 50K or higher. Yeah, that is an argument there that people are gonna paper hand. I mean, if people are gonna still buying, remember when the shorts are coming in, the worry is like who's gonna buy the shares at those prices? It's like, well, the shorts would be covering, and that's buying pressure. Oh, John Paul Investing, what's up, man? This is prime time for put selling. I think I might have a different outlook on where the market is headed. But yeah, it could be. I first doubted you being so young. Yeah, I'm 22. I'm a youngin. Yeah, CT. If you're talking about Bank of America, oh yeah. Thanks for all you do. When does the voting end? Okay, so what I've seen is that voting goes up until earnings. But it's also very possible that it ends Friday. It ends tomorrow. Let's just say and go under the assumption that the ability to vote on this thing ends tomorrow at midnight. So anything after that, just a bonus. We've already gotten 1% of all shareholders to vote. SCV thoughts on UVXY. UVXY would be a good way to play the market coming down and the volatility on the S&P 500's option chain really spiking. But yeah, I look more at VXX, but same difference. Yes, I sent you a Twitter DM. I'd love your take on price suppression. Paul, I can take a look at that. I wouldn't touch calls or puts right now. It's too unpredictable, not financial advice. Matt, if you're uncomfortable with trading options right now and you think it's going to be too volatile and you can't predict where the prices are going to go, then yeah, obviously stay away. Very risky stuff to get into. Dan says 4 more days per the site. Yeah, I just say don't risk it. If you're going to vote, just do it. All right, guys, you're slacking now. 52.1. What's going on? Yeah, I'm in a little GameStop as well. Explain the Connect brokerage to the website, please. JT. Okay, so the whole reason why this website, Saytech, is so awesome for us as shareholders is because it gives us the ability to verify shares. And that's where the connecting your brokerage comes in. So when you connect your broker, it basically shows how many shares you have in your account, and then you can vote with that amount of shares. What we've done in the past is like, I think Matt's done this on his YouTube page. People have done them on Twitter. I've done one on my YouTube community tab where we basically just like do like a range of shares and then we take averages to figure out how many shares could potentially be out there. It's not accurate. It gives us a very, very broad understanding. The actual statistical significance of those that we've done in the past, much lower than what we have now. This is real shares. Very real shares that are getting voted on. So when these numbers come in, that 1%, a little over 1% of all of the votes control 10% of all of the shares that are supposed to exist. That's insane. I cannot locate my broker on the list. Okay, Somadrill, if you're outside the United States, you're going to have some issues. If you are on Webull, then you have to create an Apex account, and then you select Apex. You have to link your Webull to Apex, and then you basically use Apex on Satec. David Kaufman, thank you so much for that super, man. I couldn't vote because Say doesn't have an agreement with Deutsche Bank Belgium. Oh, that's too bad. Are you equally as bullish towards AMC and GameStop, or do you lean heavier in one of those stocks? If so, could you explain why you are more bullish on one? Okay, so me personally, I'm personally more bullish on AMC, and there's a couple of reasons. I do believe that when these situations kick off, that they're both going to squeeze, and they're both really good opportunities. But they're the same, but they're different, if that makes sense. So GameStop's way to really kick off their squeeze, in my opinion, is the NFT crypto. And we've also haven't seen a lot of volatility on GameStop, like the underlying stock, because of this right here. When we come over to GameStop's option chain, let's take a look at their monthly expiration date for August. Calls. Let's just look at calls. Look at the open interest. It is really, really low on a lot of these contracts. Now, a lot of people say don't trade options, don't do this, do whatever you want, but options can make, like puts and calls can make the underlying stock more volatile due to the hedging process that comes in. When you look at, so let's just say like a 10% out of the money, a call would be $15 higher. So that would be about 170. So on the 170, a 10% higher strike for the August expiration date, there's a 606 open interest on the GameStop one. So that would be about 6,000 shares that would need to be hedged for. For AMC though, that would be about $3.30 out of the money. Let's say that's going to be about 37. There's 8,800 of them. So in my opinion, AMC on every given week has a higher potential for a gamma squeeze, which is different than a short squeeze. I also believe that the social media presence and the amount of people invested into AMC just right now, and who are paying attention to AMC versus GameStop, I think the AMC community is louder and there might be more people. But at the same time, I'm bullish on both of them. I don't see one as being like the distraction. Like I like both of them. Paul, thank you so much for that super chat, man. STV, you deserve this for answering questions from the live chat. Pickle Rick. Awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. For all the shorting they are doing, they're adding to the total shares that need to be bought back to close their position. Yes. So if they aren't making the squeeze potential greater? Yes. Hayden says, hit the like, guys. Thank you, Hayden. Vlad is such a POS. I expect he will wind up in prison before it's all said and done. I think Kenny will sell him right up the river. CT, I have a little bit of a different idea on like if somebody's going to go to jail, who's it going to be? It's going to be the person holding all of these like fake shares. There's going to be like one portfolio manager at either a hedge fund or a prime broker that's like in charge of all of this, and like, or a couple of them, and those are going to be the people that get in trouble because they were the ones facilitating it. You can't really like, it's hard to like, if you give a I hate to use this example. If you get, this is a better example. If you give a kid like 10 pounds of candy, whose fault is it for them eating it? Well, yeah, the kid made the decision to eat it, but like they couldn't control themselves. You gave them a bunch of candy. Buddy Shuck, thank you so much for that super chat, man. That was really generous. Like I said before, I know you're young, but I love your analysis. Thank you. Get a coffee on me. Whew, that's gonna be a wild coffee, man. Thank you. I love your analysis. I will hodl to zero or the squeeze. $10 average here. Thanks for what you do, Vix. Awesome, buddy. Thank you. And then Sean, thank you so much for the super. STV, check out the solid statistical breakdown of the data on Tim's question. He's been updating the math the last 3 days. Yeah, who was that? It was Ein something. I could try to pull that up. It would probably be better. Honestly, if you guys have that, just send me a link. I don't really want to go like rummaging around Reddit right now to like try to find that because that would create like a lot of dead air on here, and I want to be able to make sure I get everybody's questions answered. Fuck. Some of the live chats you guys send in here are just wild, and they're hilarious every time. Can someone explain trading options to me summed up like I'm a smooth-brained ape? Yes. Options give you the right, but if you're buying options, they give you the right but not the obligation to buy or sell stocks at a given price on or before a specified date. That's the most simple. AJ, link in the chat. Uh, Sean, can you DM that to me on Twitter? I can't see it. Sean, I think I have you up. Yeah, I definitely have you up here. Definitely shoot that over to me. I want to see the new math. So do we have to do anything after we upload our shares? No, you just have to vote. So what you would do, let's see what we're at right now. If you whales in here went for it, another 100,000 shares. Awesome job, guys. You're helping this like statistical study become more statistically significant. You are playing a really pivotal role right now in giving us the most proof that we are probably ever going to get on naked shorting synthetics being out in the market, and there's too many shares being out there than actually exist. So awesome job, guys. But what you can do is so Snapple, what you can do is if you're worried about like your data being out there, you can turn back on two-factor authentication, change your password, then you're good to go. But yeah, after you upload your shares, you do have to vote on something. So you would vote on Timothy B's question right here. It's the most popular question. Sands, thank you so much for that super chat. You guys are going wild with the supers tonight. Thank you guys so much. Hi STV. I look forward to your analysis every night. You are very bright. Get another coffee on me. Thank you so much. Sent. Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Let's pull this up. Oh, a P. Interesting. Let's do this. Okay, let me. I just want to see the conclusion. If we take the scenario, the actual voting is getting a total share count of 974 million. 1.4. Okay, yeah, Sean, I'm gonna have to take a deeper look into this in order to like have an opinion. I don't really want to just read it word for word on here. But yeah, thank you for that. We'll have that ready for either a video tomorrow, or the live stream on Sunday night. I know. I love coffee too. I have a bunch of coffee right here, but like I shouldn't be drinking it right now. I was really tired today for some reason. Hella Bliss, you made an account and now you got to vote. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to tweet this out real quick. Let's see here. I'm just going to tweet this out real quick and then we will get back to everybody's questions. Let's see here. All right. So, what website is this count thing happening on? It is Say Technologies. Did anyone verify the math with the whole Germans owning the entire Volkswagen float? I saw it pop up on. Are you talking about AJ Bambino? Are you talking about Like for AMC or GameStop or for the Volkswagen situation? Because that would make a difference. The GME floor for the GameStop apes seem to agree on 40 million per share. Do you think that the powers at B would ever allow a single security to get that high? It's not necessarily if they allow it, it's that how like let's put it this way. It's whatever price it's going to get to with all the buying volume that comes in from shorts covering. Theoretically, it's infinity minus 1. In theory, that's what we need to keep in mind. Can you explain options, what it means when you're given an assignment? Yes. So when you sell options, you would get assigned the amount of shares. So if you're selling a covered call, the call runs in the money. You would then get assigned, and that means you would have to sell those shares at that strike price. Another way to expose the total amount of FTDs is to pay every shareholder a dividend, even if it's a small amount, for example, for zero point zero 0.01. Yes, that is very true. That's why when I talk about the GameStop situation, it's slightly different than AMC because AMC cannot offer a dividend right now with the amount of debt that they have. So that's where the idea comes in, where having AMC being able to issue more shares, yeah, hurts in the short term, dilutes, the price will most likely go down. But if they can raise enough capital to like pay off their debt the next quarter when they have a bunch of profits and the company's in as actually profitable and they have money to spend, then they could pay us that dividend. It doesn't have to be big. It could be that 1.01 per share. There is not a Webull on the voting site. Correct. You have to register with Apex and connect your Webull to Apex, and then you can click Apex as your broker on this site, and that is how you can use Webull. 493 million retail shares equals 120 share average to retail. Okay, so that 120 share average is literally just like taking the math of how many like shareholders there are and like taking the amount of shares that are out there and dividing it by the amount of shareholders. It doesn't that 120 shares doesn't necessarily mean anything if that makes sense. Yeah, Canada. I'm pretty sure you cannot vote on this if you were in Canada. What's your Twitter? My Twitter is short the VIX 1. SCB, why isn't that rule '02 and '05 passed yet? Eric, I'm not necessarily sure which ones you're talking about. There's DTCC, there's OCC, there's FICC, NSCC. You got to be more, a little bit more specific with that one because there's so many rules. Yeah. I mean, totally not the FBI. That's a good point, but at the same time, that just adds another cost to them. So it's cost to borrow, margin requirements, and now a dividend. It's like not worth it for them at that point to just keep holding that short because it's going to cost them so much money in aggregate. You don't think the SEC will halt trading for AMC if the price gets too crazy? So what I have seen and what I have heard, the only time that the SEC would actually like stop trading for an extended period of time, one, it could potentially just be an extended halt. Two, in order for that to happen, I'd have to verify this. So if somebody in the chat knows better, they would only do that if the company itself, AMC, the company, is actually the one committing the fraud. Now, in this case, highly doubt AMC is committing the fraud. Okay, let's see. Did we get up another 100,000 shares? Come on. Oh, guys, come on now. Let's see. Can I vote if I'm on Moo? I'm not necessarily sure TMI's Nike promo team, but yeah, I'm not sure about like see that's just like a trial and error question. I don't use Moo, so I wouldn't know. Uh, Let's see. They had billions get taken in the pandemic in California. It was crazy. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. When you guys are doing the math, check out the DD that was done on statistics. Sean, yeah, I'm gonna look through that and I'll probably tweet it out after this or tomorrow morning. when there's more people on Twitter. Also, when you see this retail questions thing right here, this doesn't mean the amount of people that have signed up. I got this question a couple of times. This is just the amount of questions. The amount of votes right here is the important one. There's over 1% of all AMC shareholders have voted on this. This is awesome. John Smith, yeah, these account names are crazy. I have Charles Schwab and Plaid worked out fine for me, but I couldn't get my shares with E-Trade. I've heard a couple of things about E-Trade being a little bit difficult, but will the kitty cat be coming on again tonight? I don't know. Kringle, I mean, if Kringle pops in the chat, then I'll always invite him on. That's shut up in listen time when Kringle pops on. 20 cents per share to prevent 1K per shares, an easy decision. Yeah. Do you think AMC will reach 1,000? Nobody knows what price it could potentially get to when the squeeze when the squeeze plays out. Nobody has any idea. But when you look at the amount of shares that could potentially be out there at the current time, then the number would just keep getting higher because of the immense buying volume that would have to come into the stock in order for these shorts to get out. You can vote with Webull. We've been over this a couple of times. This is probably the last time I'm going to say it tonight, unless it like really comes up more times. You have to register with Apex. So I've tweeted it out. Any platform that uses Apex clearing, you can register with Satex. Sean, spot on. Just logged with my E-Trade account. Not a problem. Pinky, thank you. Yeah. So you guys in the chat, when that happens and people ask that question, just take care of it for them. We've really done a lot on that tonight. I don't want to just keep sounding like a broken record. Not sure if you're ignoring the infinity pool question. I am not. I didn't see it. Have you heard the infinity pool theory in the GameStop community? Very curious what the boss STV thinks. Tom, I have not seen that, but I would have to take a look. Hello from Ozark, Missouri. 1,108 shares strong and buying more tomorrow. Marcus, awesome, man. What is the share count target to be able to prove the existence of naked short shares? How many shares do institutions have currently? Institutions, I think it's 130 million, 100 something million. It's up there. I'd have to take a look again, but we would have to look at that. So the number really to prove it is if this number right here gets above like 513, because we know that there are people that cannot vote. It's impossible for them to vote in like Canada and the UK. So 513, I'd say, is a very conservative number for proof. Are we going to get there? Probably not. So what we need to think about more is the amount of shares where it's like the amount of votes and shares that come in that makes it statistically like irrefutable that there's more shares than there should be, where you can basically analyze a small population and apply it to the large population. Who is Gary Gensler? I don't know, man. We're going to need what's this? Oh, Cap ATX. What's up, man? What is going on, guys? All right. All right. 23.55% of the float is held by institutions. Very possible. Yeah, the number is going to fluctuate based on the 13F filings that come in. So that number is not exact. Keep that in mind. None of these numbers are exact. We could see an institution buy a boatload of shares in the 13F filings, but it doesn't mean that they're still holding them. When the stock ran up, they could have sold. So the 13F filings are like 2 or 3 months delayed each time. Is there a way to find out what broker/partner my broker in Sweden is using in the US? I don't know. Probably just, search around on Google probably. Let's see. Now you guys are doing math. Do they teach stats in high school nowadays? I took AP Stat in high school, and then I took a stats class in college, but that's it. No Lambo needed? GM, if you want to do something else with your squeeze money, by all means, go for it. I'm guessing that they will try like hell to short AMC down below 30 tomorrow to push the calls out of the money. And CT, don't forget pushing the puts in the money. That adds to the short volume. Big difference between 30 and 29, 100%, man. That's what I'm going to be watching too. That $30 price level or getting really close to 30 is very, very important. Let's see. Yes, sir. All right, let's see what we got over here. All right. The account name. Oh, gotcha. TMI's Nike promo team. That was a wild comment right there. Yeah, Apex Clearing is who Weibo goes through, and that's who you're gonna have to register with in order to vote on this SATEC thing. I feel like you guys are just having your own conversations in the chat right now, and then I'm just left out over here. Keith is buying a helicopter so he doesn't have to stop at red lights and can speed. Keith, that sounds like a fun time, man. STV, I tripped over the like button on my way in. It laughed at me, so I smacked it around. Then it just pointed its stupid thumb at me, so I dropped an elbow on that SOB, teaching that thing some manners, bro. Rhode Island, that's funny. You're the silver whale, the physical silver and gold whale. AMC Vigilante, what's up, buddy? Brand new Subaru STI for me. I'm a simple man. Yeah, go for it, guys. What are you guys gonna use your squeeze money for? Nice sweatshirt, STV. Dude, these are the best. Infinity Pool. The GME community has discovered that there are so many shares short that if every shareholder literally never sell, even at 40 to 50 million, the price could literally go infinity high. Yeah, that's where the infinity squeeze theory comes from. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that where if they don't sell and they need to buy your shares, well, then the price keeps going up. Because you have to find a price that the buyers and sellers are willing to transact at. If the sellers are not willing to sell at any price, then the price will keep going up. They'll keep testing it to see where the actual sellers will be willing to sell. And at each price that goes up, there's going to be a little bit more people willing to sell. So eventually it will play out. I do not see a scenario where nobody sells at these higher prices. But yeah, theoretically, if nobody sold, that's just buying and selling volume and what price buyers and sellers are willing to transact at. Squeeze money going into some investment property in LA County. Frodo, nice choice. Say website now is 52.4. Oh, you whales got in here, huh? There you guys go. Another 200,000 shares. If we can get to 53.5, we should do something cool. Just for tonight. If we can get this number up to 53.5, that would be very cool. But again, if you guys don't want to vote, you don't have to. Matt's duck suspenders is going to get some land. There you go. You're going to build an actual castle? That sounds awesome. Oh God. Who is Gary Gensler? That was funny. That was a good one. Let's see. Who is selling to cause all of the volume each day? Still learning. Well, there's a lot of short volume coming in. And the fact that the statistics right now are showing that there could be so many shares out there right now means that they're pumping in so much selling volume every single day. Juan Martinez, thank you so much for that super chat, man. What's up, bruh? When Rari, when the squeeze happens. Thank you so much for that super, Juan. Tyler Gallant, what's up, man? You guys are gonna go for it on the castles, huh? That's pretty cool. Let's see. Would you guys consider today a win or a win? Who is Gary Gensler? I think I would go with the second one. Aaron Sullivan says, I have about $15,000 waiting for tomorrow's manipulation. Ho, drop some bulls in the chat for Aaron. That is a big dip buy there, buddy. Nice. I just added my shares to the vote. CJ, let's see how many shares you might have had. We were at 52.4. Boom. Nope. Didn't tip the needle. That's all right, though. We're still climbing up. That pennant is starting to look like a waving American flag. When the image is complete on the bottom border, Moas. There we go. I just want a place away from other people, says Anthony Fiscus. I feel that, man. There must be a way more than 4.1 million shareholders by now. All apes I know have recruited at least a few apes. Yeah, definitely. It's very possible that we're above that now, but since the effective date of that last share count was June 2nd, right before the run up, there is a possibility that people have sold off their position, some of their position or a lot of their position, but it's also possible that there are new dip buyers coming in. So I think it's pretty much right around 4.1. If I had to speculate what exactly it is, I mean, I have no way of knowing, but I'd say 4.5 million. When Jet, Juan Martinez is a big plane guy. Let's see. In fact, who isn't STV? That's true. John Smith has always wanted a castle. Interesting. Matt's duck suspenders got a lot of ducks in here. Shout out to all of the ducks that are coming in here. McLaren fans, where'd you go? Oh, McLaren fan, thank you so much for that super chat, man. I think that they covered the FTDs needed for tomorrow in order to make more calls expire out of the money tomorrow. What are your thoughts? McLaren, thank you so much for that super chat, man. I actually think that's very plausible that they started to cover some of those FTDs today, because they pushed it down to a low enough price where they could start to kind of get those covered at lower prices than they thought they were going to be able to. So I think that theory is very plausible. But remember, there's another 2 million that's supposed to come into effect on Monday. So maybe they tried to get them all out of the way today, because then people are going to be looking at tomorrow and Monday for bullish days. So they might be trying to mess with our head, being like, oh, give us one day, but then attack tomorrow and Monday to try to basically make retail investors who are invested in AMC think that something could happen tomorrow or Monday, when they're just going to keep shorting. So let's see. Can shorts be covered in the dark pool, says Melissa. Okay, so if shorts were getting covered in the dark pool, the amount of buying volume that would come in most likely would outweigh the selling volume, and then that would increase the price of the transactions that would be taking place in the dark pool. So the squeeze would be happening, but then it would also reflect on the exchange as well. So it doesn't necessarily matter. Let's see. AMC Vigilantes got 3,100 in options profits going into AMC tomorrow as well. Good luck, man. I wish you the best. I hope you make a boatload of money. Yeah, I haven't entered correctly. Barry, oh, thank you so much for that super chat, man. Kenny G turned me into a new. Thank you guys for sending in all these super chats, guys. You guys don't have to do that. And it really means a lot. Without you guys, we wouldn't really be able to keep doing this. So thank you. Why is he refusing to discuss and look at the FTDs for the next 2 weeks? Kramer, we just talked about it. That's kind of what we just talked about. The FTDs are even higher for two. No, they're not. No. FTDs are a net running total. So when it goes from like really low to 2 million, that's a 2 million increase. Then when it goes from 2 million to 4 million, that's another 2 million increase. So it's not the total amount that happened on that day. It's the running total. So it's not 6 million. It's like 2, then 2. Is the dark pool regulated at all, or is it just a free for all? I mean, it looks like a free for all, but there is some. They do abide by the NBBO, which is that national best bid and offer. And then those weird OTC markets, they do have a set range that you can trade in. So for like the highest percent difference that you could be at versus what the NBBO is, the highest is like 30%, and that doesn't apply to AMC. The AMC one, that like the category that AMC would fall into under, is like 22% different. So when you see those like prices that people are saying, oh, it's trading for 8,000 on this thing, it's like, no, it's not. I just linked my other account to Apex, and now all my other shares are counted. Awesome, RJ. Yeah, Kramer. Thanks for that. That's a good question. Just watch the tone a little bit, because if you start giving me some attitude, I'm going to come back at you with some attitude too. But you're good, man. Thanks for the question. STV, are we golfing tomorrow? I mean, it's Friday. I do have to work, but we could do it. We could do it. I mean, we could do it this weekend or next weekend, probably. Totally not the FBI. Thank you so much for the super. Check out the SPY put open interest for the 40 to 350 or 400 to 350 strike on the 917. Yep. Let's see. Let's see here. All right. What was that one? The 375? Or are you looking at 350? Oh, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. So we could see we could, I mean, like, that's just a wild bet. It's like the HYG stuff that we saw. Like HYG, those puts like didn't play out. Like there's still, like, on the monthly expirations, there's still a wild amount of open interest. They're so cheap that they don't really care. But if those hit, that's a big gain for institutions that are betting against HYG, which is the basically dog crap of corporate bonds. How tall am I? I am 6'2". Work. I mean, technically, this is my job. Juan Martinez, you think that thank you so much for that super chat, man. You think the dark pool holds answer for all this manipulation? Shart? Not really. I think the manipulation really lies in the enabling of the prime brokers. That's what my understanding of it is. Just like the example before with, like, if you give a kid like 10 pounds of candy, whose fault is it if the kid eats all that candy and gets sick and then cranky? It's like, well, yeah, the kid made the decision to eat the candy, but who was the one that gave him the candy? And in that example, the person that gave him the candy would be the prime broker. SCV, what's your handicap? I mean, I used to be a fort. Do I live with my parents still? Yeah, I'm a college student and it's summertime. I move into my apartment in like 3 weeks. So yes, technically I am in my mom's basement for all of you haters out there. I knew STV was tall. No, you didn't. Everybody thought I was short. Oh, Buddy Shuck. Thank you so much for that super chat, man. Shorts haven't covered. That's it. Have another coffee. Dude, I need one. I'm tired this week. After Kansas City, I've been tired. LMAO, thanks for what you do. STV, Buddy, thank you so much, man. The brokers hold the key. Yeah. If the prime brokers, here's the thing. Like, it's the enablers of the situation. So who's allowing them to do this? Well, the Goldmans, Morgans, Citi, Bank of America, Credit, all of those prime brokerage operations are like facilitating these trades. So yeah, it is the hedge fund, like the over leverage, like the institutions that are getting those loan shares that are actually doing the manipulation. They're strategically entering into their short positions at certain times during the day in order to push the stock down to a certain level to force other people to short. But who gave them the shares? Like, SCV, I can beat you in an arm wrestle contest. Prove me wrong. 2 AMC shares. Meet at the KC behind the barbecue joint. TMI's Nike promo team. Everybody sleeps on me for the arm wrestling things. So, yeah, you're a college student. Where the devil else would you live? Exactly. Aren't you going to answer James? What did James say? Let's see. Plug is up 7.5% after hours. Plug. I mean, I don't mess around with Plug. Plug's been around for a while. They're always doing weird stuff. Let's see. SUV, do you think the hedgies would cover some FTDs for tomorrow and then short heavily on Monday to offset earnings to make it seem like earnings are dumping? I've said for a little while that I think that they're going to try to attack on earnings because of what we said earlier in the stream. It's more of like their whole thesis is that AMC fundamentally overvalued. They shouldn't be in business anymore. That's the short thesis. Now, there's an event coming up that solely revolves around the fundamentals of the company. They can spin it in whichever way they want. We know what the media has done over the past couple of months for AMC. Remember when AMC came out and said that bankruptcy was off the table, and then Mark Motley Fool was just like, bankruptcy, bankruptcy, bankruptcy. It's like, hey, idiots, you're wrong. Like like their whole job is one, clicks. Like, because at the same time, I think TMI and I were talking about this, that it like all of these FUD articles that come out, like people post them everywhere and then people go click on it to look at them and that makes them money. So they know that posting a negative article about AMC is going to get them more page views. So like they know what they're doing, but stock bashing is illegal. So they're towing a fine line. Whereas Keenan and I are working on a time where he's free to come on. So I thought it could have been tonight. It's not tonight. Maybe he'll pop in a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, we're working on it now. You thought TMI and I'm not sure about SPRT. And you thought TMI and I were roomies? Rogue 2? We are. They're just upstairs hanging out. They've had a long day. TMI's probably sleeping. Yeah, we do live together. Go to Rhode Island says, guys, serious question. I'm off tomorrow. Do I play golf, play poker, go to the beach? How about all three, Rhode Island? Make it a day. Kramer, no. No. You're wrong, buddy. I'll pull up the definition for you right now. All right. Let's do this now. All right. Let me find it. Let's find this now. Now, see, no, you know what? We're not going to do that because we all know. I mean, hold on. I'll find it. You guys are making me agitated now. Here we go. Right here. Where did this go? All right, right here. Fail to deliver on a given day are the cumulative number of all fails outstanding until that day, plus new fails that occur that day, less fails that settle that day. This figure is not a daily amount of fails, but a combined figure that includes both new fails on the reporting day as well as existing fails. There you go. Now, we're done with that. No, Kramer, no, we're done. We're done with this. Vix, can AMC offer dividends if they are in debt? No. I mean, they could, but like it's not going to happen. Yeah, it's aggregate. They're not doing that. It's not easy to see. It's just how it's counted. It's counted weird, but like that is how it's counted. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that wasn't you guys agitating me. That was the question in particular agitating me. See, that was a boom boom candle. Yeah. I didn't think y'all actually went to beaches in the Northeast region. I thought they were just to look at up there. Yeah, Sean, the beaches are yeah. I mean, Rhode Island's not bad. Holding 17,000 shares might add another 1,000 on the next attack. Look, all I want is to retire early on a private yacht in the Mediterranean and carry around a motorcycle to go ashore wherever. Duke of Bears, that's an awesome plan. If that's all you want, man, I wish you the best of luck. I really hope that works out for you. Calm down, fix. My vein is showing. Do I have a head vein? That would be kind of wild. Melissa, I have a feeling August is going to be a good month. Could be. I mean, a lot of the Elliott wave traders think it is. Vix, do you know what happens to people if they have a Bank of America account and it goes bankrupt? So the FDIC insures up to $250,000, and the SPIC. Let me look. Let's see what SPIC. The limit of it's SIPC. SIPC protection is $500,000, which includes a $250,000 limit for cash. So you've got 200. You've got about 250,000 of FDIC for bank accounts, and then you have 500,000 for equities, and that includes $250,000 worth of cash. Let's see. Yeah, FDIC and SIPC. I always mess up those two. Fuzzy G, good to see you in here, man. Thank you so much for that super chat too. Oops, finger slipped a super chat again. Darn. That's funny. Thank you, man. Yeah. I mean that like Bank of America at this point most likely would probably be too big to fail. So who knows? They would probably get bailed out unless it would be like a 2008 situation where Goldman, a lot of these other institutions kind of like let Lehman go and Bear. So we'll see what happens. Bank foreclosures are protected by going into receivership. Yeah, the other thing we need to watch for this whole thing to play out is if more banks and institutions basically come out and say no more portfolio lines of credit, because remember those, and if you see like withdrawal limits, that's bad. So the first one, portfolio lines of credit, if so those loans are backed, they're based on the value of a portfolio. So that's what the loan's based on. If the value of the portfolio goes down, then the loan goes like underwater. So if they're canceling that program, most likely they're expecting to see the overall market have a significant correction. Why is September 24th the highest strike only 36? Mike Barr, I'm not sure. Let's take a look. It should not be. That's weird. Yeah, that could just be due to that weekly option chain not uploading yet, because that is a weekly. So let's see what happens with that. What was the name of the book you read a while ago that got you interested in shorts and finances? Flash Boys by Michael Lewis. That's a really good book if you want to learn more about dark pools, high frequency trading, and the creation of IEX, which is the exchange that people really like now. So definitely check that out. So Michael Lewis is the same. He's the author that wrote The Big Short and Liar's Poker. So very legit guy. I'm pretty sure he used to work at Solomon too back in the day. SCV, I just sent TMI some DD, sending it to you via Instagram DM. AMC Article 2, Section 5. Nathan, I'd love to take a look at that. What do you think about crypto stocks or mining stocks? I mean, like it's hard to say right now. Like my outlook on the market is like overall market bearish. And there's like a certain time horizon on that. I think it's possible that Q4 is when we see something really start to play out. But again, who knows? They can delay this for a while. Like remember what happened with the story of the Big Short in 2008. They knew about everything that was going on. They positioned themselves and they waited 2 years. So who knows when this could all start to play out? There was some new wackadoodle rule about not having certain options on weekly dates or something. CT, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, Flash Boys is a really good book. Guys, easy with the jokes. Pushing, you can let the jokes fly. I just won't say them. Kiwi, thank you so much for the super chat. New sub here. Thanks for your work. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, man. Really appreciate it. What do your parents think of what you're doing in their basement? One of them doesn't understand. One of them likes it. The SPY really looks like it's about to roll over. Yeah, like look at this thing. I mean, I think this is on like a really long time frame too. Like, yeah, this is on a longer time frame. So this is like back a couple years. 6 months though. Similar. Like we just had this like a little dip back in July. Little itty bitty dip when the 10-year really started to freak out. And there were little concerns about the new wave coming in, but who knows? Eric Harper, what's up, brother? Glad to see you're on late, feeding the positivity of our movement. Yeah, man. Um, so it's my bad for not having these live streams like more consistently. Last week was the traveling to Kansas, and we were like really busy at night. And then Monday was my buddy's 21st birthday, so we went to dinner. So sorry about that. These are going to be more consistent now. Typically it's going to be Monday through Thursday, and then depending on what's going on, we'll do Sunday nights too. Fuzzy G, thank you so much for another super chat, man. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? He was outstanding in his field. Fuzzy, that's a good one. Let's see. Mike Jones. I think you guys have it backwards. I don't mean like understand like the YouTube thing. I mean like understand like this type of stuff. Playing the stock market is better than having hairy palms. Yeah, I would agree with that. Kramer, I know they're not cumulative. That's what I was saying. You said that they were. They're not. They're the fails from that day less the fails, but I just read it. That was a little switch up there. Question for Fidelity platform users, free apps. Yeah, I'm not really sure. No, no, no. Like, Nathan. Yeah, I see it. I'll look at the DD after this. Just fun. Yeah, I mean, we all know what the FTDs are. I just read it to you right here. Fails to deliver on a given day are a cumulative number of fails outstanding until that day, plus new fails that occur that day, less fails that settle that day. The figure is not a daily amount of fails, but a combined figure that includes both new fails on the reporting day as well as existing fails. So it's not daily, it's the running total. Yeah, Nathan, I saw that. Thank you. You guys are nuts. After that vote saga, I'm just here for the cake. All right, let's check this back. You guys were supposed to vote here. If you wanted to, you were supposed to do it while we're on stream so we can get this number way higher. Like if you're gonna do it, like do it on stream so I can praise you guys, because then that's fun. Um, that's another 200,000 shares in like the last 20 minutes, probably with 44,100 votes. Great job, everybody. So the reason why we talk about that is because that is like the one way that we have. It is our best opportunity to figure out how many shares are potentially actually out there. Because one, AMC can't tell us. Because remember what we talked about in one of my streams I think it was last week. The question was if Adam Aaron came out and said, "Hey, there are way more shares out there than are supposed to exist. What would you do with your AMC position?" And every single person that was like who answered was like, "I would buy AMC with everything that I had." And that's why they can't do it, because they know what's going to happen and they probably don't have concrete proof. Yeah. Rogue Civilian. I had another one that said hedgy tiers on it. So I have to write that on this one again. So all the streams can be sponsored by hedgy tiers. Let's see. Oh, you guys are nuts. Hold up. What's going on here? What is going on here? Smash the damn like button. Yeah, if you guys want to, that would help it out a lot. All right, guys. So, guys, I think the best thing anyone could do about specific brokers is to call them. They literally work for you. Sean, very good point. Joe says he voted today. Pretty easy. Then changed password on all accounts. Good for you, Joe. Let's see if we got another 100K right here. 52.6.7. Another 100 though. Another 100 voters. Let's see. Yeah, the voting is important. Cost you nothing to do it. Yeah, it doesn't. How do you vote with public? I don't know. Guys, I like honestly, I don't know the ins and outs of like all the brokerages on how to vote on this specific thing that we haven't seen before. Like I know how to do it on the brokerages that I use, but like I'm not gonna know on all of them. Maybe if you want to go on like AMC's Reddit and then just type in that broker and sort by new, there's probably somebody in there that's done it. Or just reach out to your broker and say, "Hey, I want to have my verified shares count towards this earnings call. Um, how do I do it?" And they will get back to you. I mean, unless it's Robinhood, but hopefully, you know, next week is going to be crazy. I agree. Fuzzy G, thank you so much for another super chat, man. I'm in charge of the Moon Gang Minecraft server. Do you happen to play MC? I'll be hosting a contest on the server when it opens. AMC build off. That is awesome. And no, I have not played, but that does sound like something very fun to do for the people that do play. That's awesome. Oh, we have Long in here now, almost in time for Power Half Hour. Casey, Vix, another question. When the squeeze starts, I've heard it can take at least a few days and possibly even weeks or months. Is that true? I heard that a hedge fund has so many days to cover until bankrupt. Casey, yeah, that is one of the things that we don't know how long it's going to take either, because with this new rule that could be coming into effect and how enforceable it's going to be, it's going to control the fire sales. So if they need to sell off other positions in order to cover their AMC shorts, there's going to be like a system in place for like an orderly sell off and liquidation of these positions, or they're going to post them as like collateral, get cash for them, cover their positions, and hopefully they'll be able to buy back those positions later. But if not, they get auctioned off. So depending on when that rule gets put into place, that's really going to determine how long it's going to be. I think it's more of like, it's probably going to take a while, but if that rule gets put into place, it's going to take a little bit while longer. Brian Hun, thank you so much for another super. I think you should have an average person on your lives. I will be the first if you are down. Interesting. We could start having some subs on. I think we would do first dibs to the mods because they put in a lot of work. Um the only issue is that if we have people that I don't personally know on the live, I don't know what they're going to say. That's the issue. Yeah, me and TMI's mods. I think you guys are all mods on like Match Channel too and everything. Like you guys are all awesome. So shout out the mods. Jason, thank you so much for another super chat, man. There's a huge billboard of Kramer in Manhattan on the Hudson Parkway. My 3-year-old asked, "Who is that man?" I answered, "He tried to murder Santa." Oh my god, that is like the perfect way to get like a 3-year-old to really hate Jim Kramer. Oh, also, hold on. There's a Jim Cramer tweet that I want to bring up to you guys, and it's just hilarious how just disconnected this dude is from everything that's going on. It's like, yeah, he probably knows exactly what he's doing to get the engagement on his Twitter, but come on now. Let's see. Hold up. He tweeted it twice. He literally tweeted it twice today because he was just being that much of a poopy head. Look what he says. Memesters may need to make choices. AMC and GameStop or AMD and Robinhood. First, AMD, not really a meme stock anymore. Two, nobody cares about Robinhood. Like if you do one quick Reddit search or an internet search or a Twitter search on $hood, you're going to have boatloads of people saying, like, screw them. Like nobody's buying that. And then AMD, it's like, oh, okay, well, AMD's been around forever. It's not really a meme stock. And then also, if you're thinking, I do not think you have enough money to fight the good fight on all four fronts. One, screw you for just saying, like, coming out and saying that. Two, I feel like you should know by now that the people who are in this are only in really AMC and GameStop and have the blinders on to what people like you are saying. So, also a little Vortex update to see what's changed. No changes tonight. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've got some hood puts, so I'm biased, but you know. Oh, West Virginian crypto miner? Hold up, buddy. They are trying so hard. They're so trying to confuse the public on these other stocks. Very possible. Fuzzy? Yeah, Fuzzy, you can come on. Yeah, well, we could do one where it's like all the mods rotate in and out. That would be awesome because I don't think we can do all of them at the same time, even though that would be awesome. But we have so many mods. It's like it would be hard. Jim Cramer is a fish. Anthony Wilson, that's actually funny. I was on TMI stream and I got told I had to go move something and no, pushing. I got told I had to go move something and it was like right away. It was like you have to go move this now and it literally took like 5 seconds. And I had to like leave TMI stream on the day that Keenan was on it and I was very upset about that. So yeah, there are some things I do have to do sometimes. I'm like always involved in like, hey, I'm gonna move this couch somewhere, and I'm like, ugh, why? Why do we have to move this couch to another location right now? Brian Hun, thank you so much for that super chat, man. Well, then let's do a private live chat. I think we could really have some fun. Thanks for being a true ape. Keep up the great work, Brian. We could honestly do that on Twitch. I think if we're gonna do something like that, we could definitely do something on Twitch. But thank you so much for that super chat, man. Everyone knows only AMC and GME. The people that are really in here, yeah. Also, West Virginian crypto miner, say something. Type something in the chat. I saw something that I wanted to say. Where did it go? BTC back to 40K when BTC was 65K. Keenan is awesome. We are trying to get Keenan on. Very, very busy guy. But yeah, we are working on getting him on one of these night lives, and I'm just gonna be drinking like energy drinks, and we're just gonna go crazy. I'm gonna have oven mitts on. I might even dress up for that one. We're gonna have so much fun that day. Let's see. Let's see. Jim Cramer. Oh my god. All right, you guys are fully allowed to do the Jim Cramer stuff. Um, the thing is, like, I don't. See. I don't like dislike people, but like, I know what he's doing. Like, if he says AMC or GameStop in any one of his tweets, he knows he's gonna get crazy engagement. Like, he just knows that. So like, I respect what he's doing, but at the same time, it's like, come on, dude, really? Don't forget the naked sharks. Yeah. Did anyone hear about new hedge fund OD shorting AMC? I did. It looked like they were. I've seen things that they're like a shell company or something, or like a distraction or to create fear. I haven't looked into it personally myself, so I don't know how valid those claims are. I like crypto, but I think the hedge funds are using that as a pump and dump right now. Very possible. I think even like on the news, like media, one day they were like, yeah, they're pumping crypto and dumping it. I think after this next major market event and the squeeze really takes off, that's when we are gonna see crypto like after the dip in crypto. Because when the squeeze happens, I'm expecting to see a crypto dip. But after that, I think crypto is gonna go boom. Yeah. When I eat Taco Bell, it gives. Oh my god! I sent the article about them to TMI's Twitter. Yeah, he's a flip flopper. Well, he has to be. He has to follow the tide. Like, if one day people are all like, "Oh yeah, AMC great," like in the news media, he's gonna be like, "Oh okay, yeah, yeah, it's going well. The redditors are winning or something stupid." Or if it's like a big red day and all the FUD articles come out, he's just gonna ride the wave. FUD is hilariously obvious. It is. It's hilarious. Yeah, anytime, crypto miner. Use it wisely. Let's see. Kramer bashing is fun. He makes himself a target. He knows. He doesn't care. Like, you think he cares what retail investors have to say about him? No. You think Vlad cares? No. The thing about Robinhood right now is that even though there's this whole group of people online making a lot of noise about how shady Robinhood's business activities could like potentially still be, he doesn't care. Why would he care? Good publicity, like any publicity is good publicity for him. It doesn't matter. Like, if you look at Robinhood's like user growth, it's probably way up. I haven't looked though. It could be way down. I could be completely talking out of my rear end with that comment. Did you guys also see the thing where like AMC's failure to delivers are like 35 times or like 3,500 times the amount that Amazon has, which is one of my arguments for, hey, yeah, there are some little microcosms in the stock market that are just awful, manipulated, nefarious activities going on, bad. But some things in the stock market as a whole still operate how they're supposed to. Like, the whole system isn't necessarily broken. It's little aspects of the system that we're all focused on that are horrifically broken. Uh-oh, guys, we got 6 minutes till power half hour. This is gonna be fun. Let's see. All right. Kramer is just like yeah. It's crazy. Uh Kramer wants to stay relevant. Also, funny story, whenever I tell like adults what I do, you want to know what I've said this before, but the two things that they respond to it is one, oh, you should go work for a hedge fund, or two, you should become like a news person like Jim Cramer. Those are the 2 things when I'm like, "Oh, I'm on YouTube, I do all this stuff, this is what I talk about." Those are the 2 responses that I get, and, like, every single time I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't think you're getting the point." Like, I just don't think like, clicked that, like, "Oh, that's, like, not what we would do at all." What the hell is an adult? Not me, I feel like a child still. Federal Reserve just released banks need 1 trillion of capital by October 1st. SOM dork? You gotta send that to me. Hold up. That is interesting. SOM dork, please send me a DM on Twitter about that. Need to see that. Oh, there it is. I think you already did it. Oh, dude, you're ahead of the game. Thank you. Oof, beat me to it on that one. Thank you, man. All right. I'll send the kids to the other room. I mean, yeah, hopefully there's no kids here. I know TMI had like a classroom of children on his stream today. But yeah, it is 4 minutes till power half hour. Kramer said Citadel can short AMC all the way to zero and bankrupt AMC, and then Citadel doesn't have to pay anything. Is this true? Okay, so the whole point of shorting, like over leveraging on a short and trying to short the company into oblivion is putting it out of business. Theoretically, they could, but the thing is though, is that there's 4.1 million shareholders that are like, no, you're not going to do that. There's like another side to it. Like in any other short attack situation, like in history, I don't think there's ever been something where people are like, there's like a group of people that came together behind a certain cause that are just like, We're not going to let you do this." So it's a little bit different. Theoretically, yeah, they've done it so many times to a bunch of different companies, but this time, little bit different situation. Thank you for all you guys do for us apes. We love you. Thank you to all of you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. We would just be I would just be sitting in my basement talking to a screen. Like without you guys coming in and hanging out, it would just be like me sitting around acting like a crazy person talking in my basement on a Thursday night at 9:30. Jim Cramer is the guy that walks into the club and the music immediately stops. People stop and look at him awkwardly, like, "What are you doing here, old man?" Look, oh my god, you guys are nuts. Now, West Virginian crypto miner, you were like one of the first accounts that I saw on Twitter, like posting the links to my videos, which I really appreciated. Yeah, this movement is awesome. It's unlike anything that's like ever happened. So you have to think about this. There are very wealthy people in this movement. There are people who have 2 shares. There are people with 100,000 shares. There are people with 1 share. They're all the same. They all have the same goal in mind for this situation. Doesn't matter what your orientation is, what gender you are, what nationality you are. It really, like, nobody cares. We're all like fighting towards the same goal. We all came from different places, but we all found the situation and thought, hey, this is not right. They shouldn't be able to do this to any stock. And think of all of the education and things that people have learned over the last 6 months. If you guys asked me a year ago what a failure to deliver was, I would have been like, I would have said some snarky comment. I would have been like, "Oh, you're talking about," but like now it's like everybody's been able to learn so much. And I think this is for everybody as well. Like everybody in the chat, I know you guys have been able to learn a lot too, but for myself and I think a lot of other creators as well, like we're learning on the way too. Like we've seen things come out like the threshold list. A lot of people didn't even know that was a thing until people started talking about it. So, I think after the squeeze happens, after everything plays out, people are going to be really a lot better off making their next move, and their BS radar is going to be so much more like in tune. They're going to see a stock. Sorry, they're gonna see a stock and it's gonna be like, oh, this is what's happening right now. Here's what's going on in the market. Here's what I can do with my money in order to position it. They don't need to go to somebody like me, TMI, Matt, Trey, Keenan, any of these people. They're like, oh, I've created a baseline. I've learned the other things that I need to learn, and now I can do it for myself. That is the main thing here. Oh, what's up, TMI? How you doing, buddy? Oh, family says I've learned that TMI loves avocado. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, TMI is a really big fan of avocados. Jim Cramer is a failure to deliver. Oh, that's too bad. We laugh, but my daughter always asks where her red and green crayons are. SCV, did you see the video that Jackson Hunter made with Marcel yet? I did send you the YouTube link. I watched a couple minutes of it, but I'm gonna have to look at it again. I think they talked about broad market. Oh, see, it's gonna be fun now that because typically, like, TMI has some really funny things to say, but he puts his filter on. He puts, like, the extra mask filter on, but now that he's in the chat, he can just go absolutely wild, and then I don't have to say it. I can just be like, "Hey, guys, look at what TMI said." This is gonna be a wild power half hour if TMI stays on. We are in power half hour now, so let it rip, guys. If you guys don't know, we typically do a lot of AMC stuff, like all AMC market stuff, a lot of learning and educational stuff for the first 2 hours of the stream. But then the last half hour before everybody kind of heads off for the night, goes to bed, we try to have a little bit of fun and just get a little bit of wild. So even if it's like a big red day or a big green day, everybody leaves going to bed in like a good mood. Like they end the day off on a high note. So everybody let it rip. Let's have some fun. Oh no. Tyler Gallant just dropped a super chat. I have to every single time Tyler drops a super, I have to read it really carefully before I say anything, but because he's caught me like 2 times. Nice. Oh, Tyler, that's a good one. Thank you so much for the super chat. 9:30. My girlfriend wants to know if you've ever had an Australian kiss. I think all of you guys have read it right now. It's like a French kiss, but down under. Ha ha ha. Funny. Oh ho ho, AMC dead cat. You know what's a dead cat? Your account on this channel now. Oh, bye bye. Matt's girlfriend's new boyfriend. Interesting. Hey mods, if you guys want to go timeout the AMC was a dead cat one, we can do a really, really long timeout on that one. Because I couldn't ban it, but oh my god, you guys brought the avocados over here now? Hmm. What are we gonna do with all of you? All of you hooligans. Tyler, also, thank you so much for that super chat, man. Clap. Yeah. Is it safe now to transfer out of Robinhood to another broker? I think it takes 5 to 8 business days to transfer. The squeeze happens during that time. Am I SOL? Technically, yeah, you would be, but at the same time, I've heard Robinhood transfers taking 2 days. There's two schools of thought on this. Yeah, transfer. You run the risk of not being able to sell your shares when squeeze, if the squeeze kicked off when you were like transferring. The other school of thought is, hey, if one broker cuts off the buy button, there's going to be other brokers. So it doesn't really matter if you're at another broker. The price is still going to get affected. So if one goes, it affects everybody. So what people also think is, hey, keep your shares there. Then just if you're going to buy more shares, buy them at a different broker. You can choose whichever one you would like to do. Did AMC short squeeze score really drop? I don't really know. I don't know what the short interest is up. So people giving like short squeeze scores, it's like, yeah, okay, cool. But at the same time, it's like shorts haven't covered. The short interest is going up. Utilization is going up. So that's where we're at. Chipotle is worth a lot because of the avocado. If I see anybody dropping Chipotle hate in the live chat again, I'm going to lose my mind. Honestly, though, I haven't had Chipotle in like a week. I've behaved myself. Chipotle will cause more naked sharks. Yeah, very true. I'm on Webull. If they rob us, we all sue them. I suggest on the squeeze. I mean, what the F is power half hour? Nobody really knows, honestly. We just kinda have some fun for the last half hour. We mix in some AMC stuff, like, I watch the chat, and, uh, and if there's, like, a pressing question that somebody needs answered, we answer it, but this is, like, fun time on the stream. This is like the kids' table. Later, SCV, thanks for all you do. Anytime, Keith. Thanks for popping in, man. So if the vote shows there are more shares than what exists, Adam can come out and talk about synthetic shares officially. The only way that he would be able to do that is if this number right here, the 52.8 million shares, went up to over 513. That is like proof. Because honestly, you would have to add like the shares on loan out there as well, and the actual shares that have been shorted. But at the same time, there's also like other people that have not been able to vote. So I think it would kind of balance out. So I think 513 is a decent number to use, um, because I don't know the amount of shares that are being held overseas or in Canada at Canadian brokerages. Guys, like if we're gonna go into my Chipotle addiction, I literally went to Chipotle even when they had, like, the problem with their food. I was like, "I don't care. I'll end up in the bathroom for a while anyway, like, it doesn't matter." TMI and VIX, I have a major question. Just playing, buddy. Had to make the take the mama mask out for dinner. Oh, nice job, TMI. The boss wanted to go to dinner. TMI, tell the boss I say hi. H2 Pros, what's up, man? The squeeze score is based on borrow fees and percentage of the float shorted, but mostly weighed on borrow fees because they need to make moves quicker if the fees are higher. Gotcha. Good explanation. Let's get some likes up for Chipotle. I can have Chipotle 4 times a week, extra guac. Um, there have been times where I've eaten Chipotle like every day for like 3 weeks. Like one time I've eaten Chipotle like every day. There are some times when I get it twice a day. Sue me. I love Chipotle. Yeah, family, I was down for that, 100%. I was like, "Nah, we're good. I'll survive." I think it's, great that Ape content creators all collab. Yeah, it's awesome. We all get to bounce ideas off of each other. The streams are more the streams are fun. This might be the first stream where I haven't had, like, Rogue or TMI pop on, but, like, you gotta think about this too. Everybody has a life outside of, like, AMC and, like, YouTube content creation. I'm not very good at separating it. That's my problem. I can't turn it off, which has some negative effects, not gonna lie. But at the same time, it's like, well, I love hanging out with you guys. CT, thank you so much for the super chat, man. If I eat Chipotle, is there any way to clean out my system afterwards, aside from binge and purge? Um, you could take like a laxative, but that I feel like that would just make the problem even worse. Like you would just be like double dipping on the. You would literally be like creating another synthetic Chipotle. Chipotle FUD. Have I seen TMI without the mask? Of course not. Can I explain short the VIX? Yes. Okay. So my name comes from a TV show called Industry. And at the end of what the show is, it's about a bunch of college students that just graduated and then they go on to like an investment bank for like a summer program before they can get a return offer. So there's a lot of like wild things that happen at this investment bank, but this one guy basically decides like this whole thing is completely messed up. There's a lot of stupid things happening and I don't want to be a part of it anymore, and they have to give a presentation to the executive team at the end to like prove their worth, say what they've done, their contributions to the company, and why they deserve an offer. So a lot of people are creating like these in-depth presentations on like exactly what they've done, what returns they were able to get for the firm. And this one dude just walks up in there and he's just like, buy the dip, short the VIX, F Bitcoin, and just walks out. So it was pretty cool, and that's kinda where I got it from. Double ripping. Okay. Waffle House? Every single Waffle House that I see, the building just looks like it's struggling. Like, Waffle House is probably awesome inside. I think I've been there, like, one time, but every single time I feel like somebody goes into a Waffle House, they run the risk of, like, the building coming down. Avocados suck? Dude, I would disagree. AMC should merge with Chipotle. Dude, I would liquidate my entire like, everything, go into AMC and Chipotle, and then go to Chipotle at an AMC, and then have to liquidate again, if you know what I mean. Come on, that was funny. Come on, that was a good one. Yes, but the food is so good or get yeah. What? Why are you getting into fights at Waffle House? Fair statement about Waffle House. See? See? You're probably right about the structural integrity of Waffle Houses. AM Chipotle. Oh, guys, somebody needs to get Adam Aaron on the phone. Oh, boy. Waffle House is a market strength benchmark. Look it up. I will, but they're probably not a benchmark for structural integrity of buildings. That would be my guess right there. Best thing I ever learned, you'll never meet the most effed up person in a Waffle House. Yeah, you're probably not, especially if you're there at, like, 2 or 3 AM. There's just probably some wild boy in there just having a good time. So is this scenario Chile equals spy and Waffle House is VIX? I honestly don't know what we're doing. Like, the whole Waffle House thing is just me going off and noticing about Waffle House. AMC adding food courts? If they add food courts, they better add Chipotle or, Chick-fil-A. I think the food truck from Waffle House would be safer. Honestly, yeah. Vixen TMI, I seriously have a major question. I just transferred all my Robinhood over to Fidelity. If it were you, would you move all your Webull shares over also? My thing is that if one of the brokers are gonna cut off the buy button, then like, more of them are, and the price is gonna get affected regardless. So it's not necessarily a broker issue. The only okay, so the only benefit at moving over to a broker like Fidelity is you can then if you're gonna buy more, then you can put your orders directly to the exchange, so you know that they're gonna go right to NASDAQ. Pretty sure is where they go. NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. Cyber Wizard Productions, thank you so much for the super chat. Waffles, pancakes. I think I like waffles a little bit better. Squeeze tomorrow, please. Ian, who knows, man? Who knows? Okay, now you guys are just going off topic. Like, I know Waffle House was off topic from AMC, but like we connected it back. We got the train back on track. I was a manager at Waffle House for several years. I absolutely loved it, especially at 3 AM. Tula fam, I feel like I would either really have a great time or I would be like, I'm tired. I don't want to be dealing with these people right now. When AMG Mercedes? Ooh. Please don't spam though, Ian. No spamming. Crepes? All right. French. Okay. Sonic milkshakes? All right. Favorite fast food place? Go. And Chipotle counts as fast food. If they turn off the buy button, just exercise your option. If you have any, yeah, you can. You could do that. Hey, STV, I was told a ton of FTDs will be returned next week, like a couple million per day. Is this fake news? Nick, that's not off topic. We still are talking about AMC. This just is power half hour. So it's 2 million tomorrow, and then another 2 million on what do you call it? Monday. Let's see. Chipotle, there we go. Waffle House in your 20s, drunk around 3 a.m. is freaking awesome. Dude, there's no Waffle House by there is a Blaze Pizza though. So like right where my apartment is next year, like if I come back and I want like Blaze Pizza, if you guys know what that is, it's like Chipotle for pizza or Subway for pizza. Awesome place to go. I'm gonna be eating that a lot. Um, Rocket, thank you so much for that super chat, man. We all know AMC will eventually squeeze. So on to more important questions. How do you feel about Westbrook to the Lakers? Honestly, man, that would be a good question for TMI. I'm not really a basketball guy. Kringle says Taco Bell. Every day is Taco Tuesday. Kringle, thanks for popping in, man. Whataburger. All right, let me read some of these. Chipotle doesn't count as food. Sean, I vehemently disagree with you. Culver's? That's mainly like down south, I think. Jersey Mike's. El Pollo Loco? That's I went to Bojangles one time and that was really good. Dude, Blaze Pizza is so good. Cane's is good. I had Cane's for the first time. How is it meeting up with some of the other YouTubers? What else did you guys do? Oh, I got butts on fixes arteries. We did a lot of fun stuff. We went to Top Golf. We went to a Texas Roadhouse, Buffalo Wild Wings. We kind of just hung out a bunch of times. We did end up going to a casino one night. That was fun. Um, that was a really good time, but we just kinda, like, hung out, honestly, like, it's a weird thing, like, because when you think about, like, the behind the scenes stuff that we do and, like, the random stuff that we, like, kinda had to deal with, like, the 2 weeks before, like, all of just, like, the random just, like, hate coming out and, like, even the positive stuff too, like, it's great. It's like we're all, like, going through, like, this thing together, um, and we haven't really I don't think anybody's, like, gotten into a situation where we're all in the same spot. So we're just like talking about stuff. So it's like all a bunch of people who have been going through like very similar things with the stock, with content, with like dealing with stuff on YouTube, Twitter, all of this type of things, like figuring out like strategies on like trading strategies and stuff. Then we're all in one place just bouncing ideas off of each other. So it was like a really cool experience. The fact that we are still averaging super close to 1,200 shares on Timothy B's blows my mind. Let's see what we're at now. Did we get it to 53? 52.9. I don't know, guys. We have 12 minutes left. My goal for the stream tonight was get to 53.5. I don't think we're gonna hit it, but I think we're gonna hit 53. We got 12 minutes left. Does Trey eat and drink fast too? I mean, I wasn't timing him, but I don't think so. Jeez. You guys should have done some idea dinners. I mean, if you're talking about like investment ideas or like strategy ideas, that's kind of just like the whole time. Like when we weren't like creating content or like on a stream, we were just like talking about stuff. Let's see. Kringle says, Taco Bell is the way to go, and it teaches me to hold stocks like clenching. Oh, Kringle, that was a good one. What's your MLB team in RI? I mean, I'm in Connecticut, but I'm a Sox fan. Screw the Yankees. So I'm gonna get some hate for that one. But I'm a Sox fan. There was one time when I was a kid that I caught 2 balls at one game at the Red Sox. Topgolf was fun. How'd you get stuck in a car? If we can hit either 100 million shares or 100K voters, I'd be happy with that. Yeah, I would be very happy with that as well. I was thinking 150 mil shares and 80,000 votes. That would be really cool. But yeah, we'll see. I'm actually on my way right now. Oh my god. Antics. Dude, it's like a Thursday. I mean, okay. I can't really talk though, because when I'm at school, I'm usually out on a Thursday, but this year I won't be. I'll be hanging out with you guys. Ron Allen, thank you so much for the super chat, man. At the gym, any major updates today? We did see, I did bring up some derivative exposure in the video earlier. Um, and then we're just kind of watching this say vote situation play out to see how many votes and how many voters we can actually get up to. There were some other things that popped up today, but slightly less important. We're seeing utilization go up. Let's see if we have a little bit of a difference now on Vortex. Yeah, nothing's changed. Clavius, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Tell me exactly what to do and I'll get it to 53 and a half. Are you talking about the stock? Oh, are you talking about, oh, in order to get the, this to 53 and a half, you would have to be owning 600,000 shares, and, then you would have to vote on this question. That would be how it would work. I'm not a Giants fan, so, hold up. Let's do this. Oh my god, antics. You're something else, buddy. Alright, at least in the next 8 minutes that we're on here, we need to hit 53. Yes, we're voting to count the shares because they're verified shares. Remember when AMC was fighting for 801? Yeah. Remember when AMC was in that $10 to $14 range and everybody was like, "Oh man, like it's dropping." Da, da, da." Now we're at 33.51 and people are upset. Now, I think a lot of the people that are upset are the people that got in at the higher levels, which I understand. It sucks to have an unrealized loss on your position and you got to figure out what to do with it. But, like, for those people, if any of you guys are in here that you have a pretty substantial, like, a loss on your position right now, watch, like, my videos, read, the DD on Twitter, like, go through and, like, figure out what exactly is going on with this situation, the full potential of it, and that's why I'm kind of at the point where the price will, like, fluctuate, and I'll, like, see the value of my account change, and I'll be like, "Oh, cool." Like, they're just messing with it. Like the stock could go to 300 right now, but if like no other signs are telling me that the shorts have covered, it's like, okay, well, it's the same thing. It's the same situation as if we were at $2. It's like shorts haven't covered, still holding. That's just me though. Everyone vote, go to Adam Aaron's tweet. Yeah, we put the link in here a little while ago, but hold up. 53. Nope, 52.9. Uh-oh. 6 minutes left. Here's the link right here. These guys just gotta take the pain. Hold on, no stop loss. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you gotta get out, that's fine. Juan Martinez, Vix, do you do any online gaming? Juan, I used to play like some video games. The video game that I was the best at was the first Destiny. If I knew about streaming back then, I so would have done that, and I would have been like real because I was like I never like I was not losing in any multiplayer match. It wasn't happening. I was like at like Fortnite and Warzone. because I just didn't play like very often. Ron Allen, thank you so much for another super. Take a bet on what hedge funds do for the T plus 35 FTDs tomorrow. Ron, we've been speculating that some of those were taken and closed out and covered today. Because they know essentially that we're going to be watching those two dates, the T plus 35. So if they can get some of them out of the way today, then tomorrow may not be an aggressive green day and neither will Monday. So then it's another like, oh, retail is hyping up a date. Let's mess with them. That type of deal. Destiny Warlock. I was a Titan. Let's see. Clavius, thank you so much for another super. I got 5,500 shares. I'll do it now. Show the link. Uh, Pushing with powder, just put it in there, and I put it in there a little while ago. You just gotta link your brokerage account to it, and we're good. Are you? You should vote. I mean, I have. I'm just not logged in. You see, sign up, log in. I wouldn't do. I wouldn't. I'm not showing how many shares I have. Yeah, and you can look at Adam Aaron's tweet. Oh, Geo, we are not gonna answer that one. Chipotle talk made me hungry. I'm making tacos now. Pink lemonade. There you go. All right, come on now. Let's get this to 53. I know we've got 5,500 potential shares coming in the next couple of minutes, so let's see what happens. Come on, refresh. Darn. And TMI doesn't count. Geo, you're getting wild. Show your shares? Why do you care? Why do you care how much I have? I don't care how much you have. If you have one share versus 100,000, you're just as vulnerable to, or not vulnerable, valuable to the community. Martin Apollo, I sent you the FTD list to your Instagram. Check. Okay. Oh, can't do that on here, but yeah, I've seen it. Show us your shares. No, not happening. Sorry. Could just be a glitch. Is it possible they are running out of shares? Yeah. CT, I've heard that if you're trying to go direct to the exchange, that like the liquidity is really low. But yeah, I haven't been able to do it personally, so I don't really know. What if you had none? Yeah, that would be really bad. Let's see. The higher the vote count, the more accurate the estimate. 100%. Where were you guys in Kansas? We were like just south of Kansas City. Oh, family is finally to XXXXX shares now. That's nuts. Vix has 100,000 shares. I'm putting that on Twitter. Vix does not have 100,000 shares. Who do you think I am? Like even at $2, that's like $200,000. Do I look like the kind of individual that just has like 200K kicking around? That I'm like, yeah, 200K. There you go. No, not me. Wrong guy. 53 million. Oh, we got it. We got it. 53 million. There we go. Clavius. Clavius, you came in clutch there, man. Thank you for another super. Uh, TMI says I have a billion shares. Yeah, I do. A billion gazillion. Speaking of TMI, oh, you guys are wild. I have more shares than I should, but less than I want, says Seabiscuit. Interesting. You ever think of show view count in some kind of patrons? Uh, he short shares. Dude, he's in college. He doesn't have any money. I mean, I don't have 200K sitting around. If I had 200K sitting around, I'd be making a lot different life choices, I think. Post squeeze, we can figure it out. Yeah, Sean, I'm gonna take a look at that after. Also, guys, it is 10. Thank you guys for all coming on and hanging out on the live stream tonight. As always, if you guys want to leave a like on the video, thank you. If not, also, if you guys follow me on Instagram at shortthevix1 right now, I'll follow you back. Because I'm gonna have a couple minutes of free time. So just like if you want to follow me on Instagram, TMI and I are starting Instagrams. Also follow TMI on Instagram, masked_investor. I don't know if he's available to basically follow all you guys back right now, but I am. So thanks for coming in on the stream tonight, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Also, Juan Martinez, thank you so much for that last super chat. Now let's all go to Chuck E. Cheese. All right, guys. See ya.